I bought 10 of the strangest microwave gadgets that I could find, and I tested every single one of them to find out which ones were genuinely clever and which ones were completely rubbish. They'll all end up somewhere on this list, and I'm starting with one that looks completely ridiculous. This is a collapsible popcorn maker. The transparent bit is the lid, and the red part is the collapsible bowl. It took a bit of working out which way round the bowl should pop out, but I got there in the end. The instructions are good. All you need to do is add popcorn, a bit of melted butter or oil, and some salt for flavouring. Give it all a shake and then add the lid, except the lid is a little bit weird because it's too small to go on top of the bowl and the instructions don't show how to use it. In the end, I made the assumption that the stem faces up as a handle and the lid sits loosely inside the bowl. It goes in the microwave for 2 or 3 minutes until the popping begins to slow down, and this is what the results look like. Perfectly popped popcorn. So good food results. I love the fact that it folds up and it's easy to store, but the instructions are slightly lacking. So I'm going to start with giving this one a 4, which is surprisingly good, but just not absolutely perfect. Next, it's this Italian-made egg cooker, which is designed to do 2 things. You can make omelettes in the bottom half of it, or use the 2 parts together as an egg poacher. Now, I love poached eggs, so I was hoping this was going to be a really easy way of making them. For poached eggs, you fill the bottom half with water, slide the red cradle into place, and then add 2 eggs and the lid. The packaging said 4 minutes at 800 watts, but I reduced that to 3.5 minutes. This is what they look like at the end of cooking time, and honestly, poached eggs can look a bit rubbish and still taste great, but these really did look unappetizing, and the eggs actually seem to have got smaller. The ultimate test, of course, for poached eggs is the yolks, and these ones were hard boiled. When I took it apart for cleaning, I worked out why the eggs had got smaller. A load of the egg white had actually fallen through the red cradle and was stuck around the bottom tray. So the egg poacher, I'm afraid, is going to be a 2 for me, which is don't waste your money. Next, it's a toasted wrap maker from Morphy Richards. It's actually this range of gadgets that inspired this whole video, because I discovered these a few months ago and they are metal, and apparently we can now put metal in the microwave because the entire range is made of metal. So this is a mini wrap maker, and I spotted a problem straight away, which is that, funnily enough, it's tiny. I thought a panini might fit in it, and that's clearly not going to happen. Neither would a standard wrap fit in it, but I did have these taco wraps which did fit. So I used the picture on the box as inspiration, and I filled the wrap with ham, tomatoes and cheese, and then folded it up and locked it in the metal mould. This is what it looked like after 2 minutes in the microwave. Again, this is another one where the results don't look quite as appealing as I was hoping, and it's mostly cooked on the outside in the middle of the wrap and not around the edges. So I really like the design of this, and I like the concept. It feels well made. It didn't make the microwave explode, which is a bonus. It is a little bit small, and I'm going to go for 3, which is it works, but. Next, it's a microwave potato baker, which says on its packaging that it effortlessly bakes 4 perfect potatoes at once. Now, perfect is a bold promise because microwave potatoes usually end up wrinkly and a bit disappointing. So I hope this gadget has superpowers. This bag of baking potatoes looked like it would be perfect for the job right up until the point when I opened it and I realised that it had 2 normal-sized potatoes and 1 giant one. The idea with the stand is that you use the spikes to pierce the potato, and then they hold it in place and allow air to circulate underneath it. This is what the potatoes were like after 8 minutes on high in the microwave. They are cooked, but it didn't actually solve the problem that I thought it would solve. They are exactly the same as every other potato that I've cooked in a microwave for the last 20 years. So I'm going to give this stand 2 out of 5. Now next, some bacon, and this is a bacon cooker by Decor. It's quite large to store and it makes 1 to 4 servings in 4 minutes. And I managed to fit just 5 rashers in it. A lot of moisture came out of the bacon, so that may have affected the end results, but it didn't crisp up and it seemed to be more well cooked at the ends than in the middle. While the bacon was resting, I unboxed this Japanese egg grill pan. Whilst half the writing was in Japanese, the other half was in English, and surprisingly, the instructions were actually pretty good. You add a small amount of oil to each half of the pan, spread it around, and then add an egg to each. Finally, place the lid on top and put the microwave on to cook for 3 minutes. When cooking time was up, they looked a lot more appealing than the poached eggs, which I showed you earlier. They slid out of the grill pan easily and the yolks were cooked through perfectly. I plated up the eggs and bacon and they were a big hit with the kids. The only downside was the bacon dish was really quite greasy and took a while to get clean after using it with that ribbed bottom. So the egg dish delivered exactly what was promised, really clear instructions, and I think the results are actually better than a frying pan because the eggs are a perfect circle. And the real test of a gadget like this is whether I actually use it again. We've already used the egg thing twice since filming this test, so it is my first 5. And these eggs are so good, it also made me realise that eggs in the microwave can be good and you don't need to put up with terrible ones. So I'm going to move the poached eggs down to 1. Now the bacon dish is really hard to rate. It's not as good as the popcorn maker because it's bulky to store. It was hard to clean afterwards and the bacon wasn't completely evenly cooked. So I'm going to make it a 3. Now next, this is the gadget I was most excited to try. This might actually be my favourite looking gadget of the whole video. It's Japanese, it all stacks together and you can use it for cooking rice and steaming vegetables. But then I looked at the instructions and they were really minimal. There's nothing about quantities or timings and whether you should give the rice a head start over the vegetables. It just literally says rinse the rice, add the water, and then add vegetables to the strainer. So I asked Google and it suggested 10 minutes on full power and 5 minutes on half power. After 10 minutes, the broccoli was boiled beyond hope and the rice was still not cooked. So I removed the veg and I put the rice back for 5 minutes. This time the rice was much better, but the starchy steam had made everything a bit of a mess. So I really wanted to love this gadget, but if I have to Google how to use this particular microwave rice cooker and spend 15 minutes experimenting with timings, I might as well just use a saucepan. So this is a fail. It's going with the egg poacher and I'm sticking it at 1. And so after that starchy mess, it's on to cleaning. This is Angry Mama. She's a microwave steam cleaner and you fill her up with vinegar, water and a drop of lemon juice. I love the design and having a tool that is a little bit of fun and also does a proper job like cleaning the microwave would make me more likely to do it on a regular basis. You stick her in the microwave for 3 minutes and then you wipe down the inside once she's created a load of steam. It doesn't magically clean the microwave for you, but it does make one of those horrible kitchen jobs slightly less horrible. So that's a 4 out of 5 for me. Now you remember the metal wrap maker I showed you earlier, as well as the really successful metal egg grill. I have 2 more metal pans to test. The first one is a toasty maker. It's made by Drew and Cole and it's like the mini wrap press. Quite a cool design, bold colours, and I like the look of it. I tested it out with a classic ham and cheese combo, finishing by buttering the outside of both slices of bread as the instructions tell you to do. It tells you to do it for 2.5 minutes on one side and then turn over and do 1.5 minutes on the other. This is what the manufacturer thinks the toasty should look like when it's done. And this is what mine looked like. But it is at least crunchy on the outside. So this is either going to be a 3 or a 4. And I'm going to go 4 because I think it could improve with just a tiny smidgen less butter next time. So far we've had absolute disasters and a couple of surprises, but this is the gadget that I've been most curious about. We're going to cook burgers in a microwave, and I'm probably going to get a load of angry comments for even suggesting this. But this gadget is made by a Spanish company called Lequay. I've bought a couple of their products and they've both been brilliant, so I have high hopes for this one. The instructions for this are great. You can use it with meat and vegetables. It's got recipe ideas and all the timings in the box too. I tried it with burgers for 3 minutes and I was aiming for medium rare, and this was the result. Beef burgers cooked in a metal thing in the microwave with actual grill marks. So the kids loved these burgers so much, I had to cook the other 2 from the packet straight afterwards. So this gadget has passed the test for being used again, and it goes straight to number 5. So after testing all 10, there were actually 2 which I've decided to keep. The egg pan and the grill pan, which are both metal things that you put in the microwave, which is not a sentence that I ever thought that I would be saying. Do let me know in the comments below if you've got any of these and whether you regularly use them, or if I've introduced you to something new.